and release. Today we are going to be focusing a little more on the upper body and releasing the upper body. You are going to need a space on the wall. You are going to need about 12 inches space. Doesn't have to be a ton of space. As long as it's a relatively smooth surface where you can roll a ball against the wall and your shoulder. And then you're going to need space on the ground for when we get down to the floor with our roller. So let's start first with a ball. The ball can be a tennis ball. It could be a pinky ball like this one is. Technically, you could probably use a baseball. The grooves will make it a little hard to roll, but a lacrosse ball is great. Whatever kind of ball you might happen to have around, dog toy, it's all the same. All right, so grab that ball and head to your wall. We're going to place the ball right here. So it's going to be in this trap is what we're going to roll. We're going to be rolling across out towards the shoulder. And we're going to have to walk our feet away from the wall just a little bit to do that. So I'm going to place it next to my spine, leaning back against the wall. I'm going to walk my feet out away. So my hips are out in front. I'm putting pressure into that ball. And then I'm going to roll across the top of my traps out towards my shoulder, as you can see, and then back. Again, we're not going over any vertebra. We're not crunching into any other bones or anything. We're staying right in our trap, going side to side. And if you find a spot that's particularly sensitive, feel free to hang out there. Just find a spot. If you find that spot, roll back and forth, like spend the next 30 seconds there. I've already found one. Most of us are gonna have one in our traps because we're stressed all day long. Our shoulders are hunched up. Breathe. Good. You've still got another 15 seconds on that spot, wherever it was. And then we'll go back to doing all the way across. All the way across. Oh, my ball is sliding. It happens. Just readjust. You might find some areas that are a little crunchy. Some tissue is bound up in there. Good. Let's do the other side. So again, I start closer to my spine. My hips are out in front of me. And I'm rolling side to side. We'll do about 3 rolls and then all the way out and all the way back. And then we'll find somewhere that needs a little extra attention. Good, so find wherever you need a little extra attention. And hang out here for the next 30 seconds. Upper body rolling, for whatever reason, doesn't get as much attention as lower body. We always think about foam rolling, roll out the IT bands, roll out the glutes. But really, our upper body from our poor ergonomics, typing all day, holding phones while bags and all the other stuff, holding children, it takes a lot of stress and forms a lot of compensation patterns. Good, start rolling all the way back across again. Beautiful. Now we're going to go right down the center. So my spine is here. I'm going right to the right of my spine. And my goal is going to be, it's a little hard to show you from here, but my goal is going to be to roll from here to about here, up and down. All right? So I suggest bringing that hand behind, putting the ball kind of up as high as you can. Again, we're going to walk our feet out in front just a little bit. You're going to drop down and up. So you're going right along the spine. Up and down is the motion. Again, we are not on the spine at any point in time. We're not actually going over the shoulder blade at any point in time either. Breathing into it. Foam rolling and roll and release work only works if we are relaxed. keep going. Now, if there's a spot that you can feel like, I probably need a little extra love there, go ahead and head there now for little rolls back and forth for the next 30 seconds. You're still here for another 20 seconds, 15 seconds. Breathe. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Let's take it over to the other side. So now we're on the left. Again, placing it as high as you can. I sometimes have to use my right, so my left doesn't have as much range of motion. There, and up and down. You might find one side is tighter, more sensitive than the other. Might also correlate to the side that you have more crackling or lack of range of motion in that shoulder. Just make a mental note and try to remember to give a little extra love to that side. So find a spot that you can tell you need a little more care and roll there. Beautiful. You're here for 15 more seconds. And I've moved my spot around ever so slightly, not gonna lie. Some of these spots can be really painful. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. All right, so now I'm gonna bring it up, and I'm just gonna be rolling the side of, right to the side of my spinal cord again on my neck. So, I'm going to just roll. It's a really small movement. That's it. And we're also not putting endless amounts of pressure into it. Go kind of gentle on yourself. But you are going to roll up to the base of the skull and the top of the shoulder. Nice and gentle. If you get tension headaches, this can feel nice for you. Try to allow the neck to relax. You're not pointing your chin in any one direction firmly. We're here for about 15 more seconds, and then we'll do the other side. Readjusting as you need to. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Other side. Our neck is an often forgotten area, which is crazy because it holds up so much weight all day long. Heads are so heavy. Good. Go easy on it. Remember, you're not like smashing your head into the ball. We just want to do some gentle release work. Good. For 5, for 4, for 3, 2, and 1. All right, we are going back to the right side. This time we're going to start getting into the deltoids a little more. So you have your reverse or back deltoid, you have your medial deltoid and your anterior deltoid. So posterior, medial, and anterior deltoids, so, or front, lateral, and back, your choice of how you want to call it, but we are rolling up and down for those ones. So we're going to start in the back. And you're going to be just right on the shoulder. So I'm right here on my shoulder. And I'm just going to, again, go up and down. And you may find as you get a little closer to the armpit, it could be a little sensitive for you. Now, be mindful, for some people there is a nerve that's a little more superficial. So if you start feeling an electrical pain radiating down your arm, get off of that point, please. But otherwise, just up and down. Good. Keep going. We're here for about 12 more seconds. And then we're going to turn our body actually so that our lateral part of our shoulder is pointing directly at the wall. In 3, 2, 1. So I am now turning straight forward and again up and down. So that up and down really is causing me to have to do hip out, hip in. I'm getting a little oblique work while I do this. Stay here. You've got about 15 more seconds. Always adjusting. If your ball goes shooting out, that's common. Don't worry about it. Just go get your ball and get right back to it. Good. So now I'm going to be facing towards the wall. I'm going to be rolling the front, right? My anterior deltoid right here. So facing towards the wall. Again, still up and down. I put my palm towards the wall. It's almost like I get a little mini side bend for a little core work in here. Good. Stay here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Let's do the other side. So I just did my left, moving on to my right, onto my right, starting in the back, up and down. Good job, you guys. The majority of people have what's called upper cross syndrome, where their shoulders are rolled forward. And that's because their chest is too tight. Their upper back is weak. So you want to make sure that you are releasing both your chest and your back to get yourself back in alignment. You're here for 10 more seconds. Good. Let's move on to our medial deltoid. And up and down. So on this one, like I can feel some discomfort that I didn't have on the other side. This is my dominant arm, so it's very likely that I've, done something at some point in time with bad form or overdid it or strained it somehow. Good job for 3, for 2, for 1, and then turning towards the wall, palm, right palm is towards the wall, up and down in the front. Stay here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. All right, give those shoulders a couple rolls backwards. You should actually feel like you have a little bit more range of motion. We're now going to roll with our roller down on the ground. So we're going to place it horizontally, bringing it to where our bra line or kind of right below the shoulder blades is. If you have long hair, pull it up. If you're wearing a sweatshirt, pull it up because it will. And if you have a baggy shirt on, maybe tie it in knot because it'll get sucked into your roller. So you're going to lift your hips up. As you roll towards your neck, allow your head to drop back. And as you roll back towards that bra line or right below the shoulder blades, crunch forward. Big breath in as you roll back and let it out as you roll forward. Again, big breath. And nice. Good job. Adjust myself, but we have 2 more rolls. And let it all out. One more time. And out. Awesome. All right, let's go to the low back. Set that roller right behind your booty. Lean back over it and pick a side. I'm on my right side right now, which means my vertebra from my spine are not touching the roller. I'm slightly rolled off of it, and I'm going to roll from the top of my glutes to my bottom ribs. It's not a very big space to roll. It's maybe the size of your hand, but it's traditionally where people say, oh, I have low back pain. And right now, we're opening it up with kind of this broader tool, the foam roller, and we're going to get in there with the ball in just a moment. Get a little more pinpoint. Really open it up. And let's do the other side. So again, I'm going to lean back, drop onto my left elbow. As you can tell, my spine is right here. It's not touching the foam roller at any point in time. And I'm rolling from the tops of my glutes all the way to my low ribs. Keep going. One more pass. Awesome. All right. So grab your small ball again. It can be, again, that lacrosse ball, tennis ball, pinky ball, golf ball, whatever it might be. Laying down on your back, You're going to lift your booty up. You're going to find the meaty part where there's actually muscle, as close to your spine and your pelvis as you can, top of your pelvis. So you're going to sink your weight into that. And then you're going to, mine's on my right side, so I'm going to shift my hips to the left, and that is going to cause the ball to roll and pull the muscle away from the spine. That is our goal. So we're going to sink into it and roll, pulling that muscle away from the spine. We've got 2 more passes here. Really sink in each and every time. Awesome. Move it up 1 vertebra, sink in, and roll. You have little tiny muscles called multifidi that support the spine, but they can become immobile as they get adhered from overuse, underuse, just life, really. So we are trying to get them to wake up and go back to doing what they're supposed to do and get them a little bit more fluid in their movement. Good. Move it up again. For most people, after they do this specific exercise, once they move around, they can notice a difference in their flexibility of their back and hamstrings, and that they experience way less low back pain. And this in conjunction with rolling out the psoas, which we are not doing today, but in conjunction with rolling out the psoas can really make a huge difference for people who suffer from low back pain. Especially if your low back pain is caused by ergonomics, the way you sit all day long, or excessive sitting. Good. Up 1 more time. Really sink into it. Your goal is to really pull those muscles away. Awesome. Let's switch to the other side. So now I'm back at the bottom. It's on my left side, so that means my hips have to shift to the right in order to pull those muscles away from the spine. Now, if you are someone who regularly foam rolls, and let's say you regularly roll your glutes and your calves with your roller, and you're feeling like it just doesn't quite get deep enough anymore because you've been able to release kind of all the superficial layers, using your small ball can actually help you get in a little bit deeper. So that would be kind of your next level. And maybe you could start with your medium ball if you have one that's like softball size, and then go into your smaller ball. But the smaller ball will allow you to get in deeper. Go ahead and move up 1 vertebra. It will allow you to get in deeper. So I would choose a slightly bigger ball and work my way down to something like a golf ball. Good. And up 1 more time. Do you notice more tension on one side of your back than the other? Probably has something to do with the way you sit, the way you carry things. You may carry things more on one side than the other. And last time, up a little bit higher. And if you're now coming across a spot that's particularly sensitive, maybe out a little bit more to the side of your body, that is where your psoas and your QL connect. And it might be irritated because of all the sitting that we do. Your psoas and your QL are what keep you from falling over. They keep your upper body upright Your QL keeps you from falling side to side. Your psoas keeps you from falling front to back. But because we spend so much time seated and crunched up through the hips, oftentimes the psoas is irritated, as is the QL. QL has been stretched out for too long, psoas has been shortened for too long. That's why everybody will always recommend get up every hour for at least 5 minutes and move around, so that your muscles are not in these shortened and elongated positions for longer than they should be. It's also not good for you to stand for super long. So you want to switch, if you have the option of a standing desk, you want to switch back and forth, like an hour standing, an hour seated, an hour standing, an hour seated, with like a 5-minute walk in between those transitions. So really like 55 minutes one, 5-minute walk, 55 minutes the other. Try to take calls if you can. Good. Go ahead and take that ball out. Pull those knees to chest. Go ahead and roll side to side. Maybe little circles, massaging your sacrum. Awesome. All right. Thank you so much for joining me today.